Welcome to Story Lounge. Our story begins in 1533, in the turbulent world of Tudor England, where a young princess named Elizabeth was born into one of the most powerful yet perilous families in history. Daughter of King Henry VIII and the infamous Anne Boleyn, Elizabeth's life was shaped by ambition, betrayal, and survival. Little did anyone know that this young girl would rise to become one of the most formidable monarchs the world has ever seen. Elizabeth's early years were marked by uncertainty. Her mother, Anne Boleyn, was executed when Elizabeth was just 2 years old, and she was declared illegitimate. But even as a child, Elizabeth was sharp, intelligent, and resilient, qualities that would serve her well in the years to come. As Elizabeth grew older, she learned the art of survival in a court full of intrigue. She watched as her father married, remarried, and reshaped the country with each new wife. But while many doubted her, Elizabeth's sharp mind and keen sense of diplomacy set her apart. In 1553, Elizabeth's half-sister, Mary Tudor, ascended the throne, and the atmosphere in England grew tense. Known as Bloody Mary for her persecution of Protestants, Queen Mary saw Elizabeth as a threat. Elizabeth, now in her 20s, was imprisoned in the Tower of London, accused of plotting against her sister. But despite the danger, Elizabeth remained composed and played her cards carefully. For 2 months, she languished in the Tower, her fate uncertain. But Elizabeth's strength never wavered. She knew her time would come. And it did. In 1558, after the death of her sister, Elizabeth was declared Queen of England. At the age of 25, Elizabeth ascended to the throne, inheriting a country divided by religious strife, economic woes, and external threats. But the young queen was ready. With a sharp intellect and a natural flair for leadership, she was determined to steer her kingdom through the storm. Elizabeth's reign was unlike any other. Though she never married, earning her the title of the Virgin Queen, she skillfully played the game of politics, using her marriage prospects as a diplomatic tool. She was courted by princes and kings, but Elizabeth knew that her true loyalty was to England, and she refused to share her power. While Elizabeth strengthened her rule at home, trouble was brewing across the seas. The powerful Spanish Empire, led by King Philip II, saw Protestant England as a threat. Tensions escalated, and in 1588, the Spanish Armada set sail for England, intent on invasion. This was Elizabeth's defining moment. As the Spanish Armada loomed on the horizon, she addressed her troops at Tilbury with the famous words, "I have the heart and stomach of a king, and of a king of England too." Her speech inspired not just her soldiers, but her entire nation. The battle was fierce, but the English navy, with its smaller, more maneuverable ships, outsmarted the mighty Spanish Armada. Aided by unfavorable winds, the Armada was defeated. Elizabeth's victory secured England's position as a dominant naval power and marked the beginning of the Golden Age. But Elizabeth's triumphs were not just on the battlefield. Her reign ushered in a cultural renaissance, the likes of which England had never seen before. The arts flourished, with playwrights like William Shakespeare and poets like Edmund Spenser capturing the imagination of the nation. England prospered, and Elizabeth became a symbol of stability, strength, and progress. Under Elizabeth's rule, England thrived. Trade expanded, colonies were established in the New World, and the economy flourished. Her leadership brought an era of peace and prosperity, cementing her legacy as one of the greatest monarchs in history. As the years passed, Elizabeth's once glamorous court grew quieter, but her influence never waned. She ruled for 45 years, guiding England through war, plague, and rebellion. Her people loved her, and she became known as Gloriana, the queen who had brought light to England's darkest days. In 1603, Queen Elizabeth I passed away, leaving behind a legacy that would shape the course of history. She defied an empire, rose above the challenges of her time, and led England into its golden age. Her strength, wisdom, and unyielding determination made her a queen like no other. The story of Queen Elizabeth I is one of triumph, resilience, and the power of leadership. She was a queen who defied the odds, charted her own path, and left a legacy that would echo through the centuries. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and explore more stories of legendary leaders and their rise to greatness.